Hey everybody, welcome back to ESL King of the Hill. I'm joined by Arturo Sabin Sanchez. How are you doing, man?
Oh, how you doing, Sage? I'm first off happy to be here. ESL, first time being King of the Hill in the production studio. Pretty sick.
Yeah, we're just chilling here in Burbank, California. So you had a long flight over here, 6 hours all the way from East Coast to West Coast. How are you feeling?
Oh, like, I'm feeling pretty good. I've done worse. Certainly like 6 hours is a little bit long, but it's no international flight, which is like 12, 14 hours.
Yeah,
and
you get
time
stuck
zone
on
difference.
those super long flights. You wake up the next day when you get over there. It's pretty rough.
Exactly. I'm going back in time.
That's true, actually. Yeah, so it's not too bad. Today you're going to be playing up against Killer Miller, who's the Mika player. How do you feel about that matchup in Season 2 versus Dalsum?
Well, no, well, to be honest, on Season 1, it was definitely like a little bit toxic.
Right.
The clap was safe, stuff like that. And it's a little bit easier in neutral now because the clap is nerfed, and if she gets the EX Peach, she doesn't get as much advantage now as she did before. But if you get into the corner, it's still a pressure session. So it's on me to mentally be aware and be on point pretty much. Because if I get to the corner, it's bad. But as long as I keep like a cool head, should be okay.
And one thing to keep in mind too is that this is a little bit of a longer set, right? First to 10. So do you feel like that helps you out in this kind of a matchup, or is actually a detriment?
It could help and also hurt at the same time because in a long set you can obviously get tendencies on the other player, stuff like that. It goes both ways, pretty much.
So you don't feel like it's going to be either way. It's just whoever's playing better at that time. Because in a longer set, it's easier to frustrate your opponent sometimes too, right? If they're trying to get in, but at the same time, if you're getting mixed up, you're getting mixed. So you've been playing pretty much all Dalsum this season. What do you think about him in Season 2?
I think the buffs to him are marginally better, but in a season of like Lauras and Urians and Boxers and Camis, it's still rough. It's still rough.
Yeah. Do you guys really have a Mika player that plays super often over at Next Level that you have practice against?
Yes, we do. We have GTG Sabo, who comes by Next Level and plays Mika. He's pretty much the only guy that consistently comes to Next Level to play Mika. I actually played him in a tournament a couple of weeks ago at a Battle Circuit, so he definitely comes through.
Awesome, that's good to hear. So you won't be staying out here for Wednesday night fights, right? You're going to be heading back for Next Level.
Unfortunately, I have a red-eye flight to catch a Next Level Battle Circuit. I mean, of course, I want to say Wednesday night fights, of course, because it's a sick show, sick venue and all that. But responsibilities.
Yeah, it is what it is. So you're going to be playing up against Miller first, but if you do happen to win, you'll be playing up against K-Brad. How do you feel going up against K-Brad and Cami this season?
Honestly, I didn't think the matchup was too bad in Season 1. Sim did have answers for dive kicks. Granted, the EX dive kick you couldn't really challenge.
Yeah.
But like in this game, Cammy's back strong 4 frames.
Right.
She has the only 4-frame back strong in the game, +3. So that can definitely be annoying. So I have played it a bit, but I'm not too familiar with how much it's changed in Season 2.
Okay. So it's going to be one of those things where you learn on the fly if you happen to play. All right, well, that'll be interesting to see. We got a chance to hear from Arturo. Now we're going to head over to David to talk with Killer Miller in just a second.
What's up? I'm with Tanya, a.k.a. Killer Miller. What's going on? So you're going to be playing up against Arturo first, right? You're going with Mika, I assume? Is that right?
Definitely going with Mika. I'm the most comfortable with her, and my secondary characters aren't ready yet.
Okay. All right. Well, how much experience do you have against Dalsum? I know you have a lot, but talk to me about your lots of experience against Dalsum.
I have Super Turbo experience, and I have a lot of Street Fighter V experience. So luckily, I have El Trouble to play with. I've got Dankadillis to play with, and I've also had, luckily, Commander Jesse as well to practice the matches. So hopefully all their training, all their hard work in me pays off today.
Yeah, I mean, those are very good players for sure. What do you feel about the matchup?
I honestly think Dalsum wins it as long as he keeps a strong defense, like Arturo said, but it takes that one jump in, that one get in, and we'll see what happens,
Yeah, I mean, so you come from the Super Turbo scene. You play Honda, as I did. I know that there are struggles against some characters in that in terms of getting in, right? So as Honda versus somebody like Ryu, you're trying to get in, and it's terrible. So I know that you have that experience. Is there anything that you bring from that game into Street Fighter V that helps you?
Yeah, so like you were saying, getting in at the right points is key, and learning, A2 matchups is not going to be this bad against Dalsum. I think maybe it's 7-3, 6-4, Dalsum or Mika. So it's all about getting in patiently and waiting for your opening and then taking full force of it. So you're right. Luckily, I have that background, and I hope it helps me today.
Okay, well, say that it goes well against Art. You're going to play against K-Brad's Cami. What do you feel about that matchup, both against the character and then K-Brad the player?
buttons, 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 and hopefully not getting hit by those buttons or counter poking, and also picking your placement of getting in. So a lot of Season 2 Mika is picking your spots correctly and then going full force. You know, it's not going ham all the time. So it'll be interesting to see if I get that far and playing K-Brad.
Well, having just seen K-Brad play against Alex Myers, is there anything from that set that you think, you know, that you could have learned from or that you can take into your own game?
For first to 10, you have to be mentally strong at beginning, end, and middle. And so holding on to that belief of you're going to beat them and staying true, you know, and maybe believing in your hits will hopefully help out. So, you know, I think if Myers had been a lot stronger, he would have done, you know, a lot better. And I know him to be a great player. So first to 10 is rough because it's all about not cracking up here. So that's what I learned.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you do well in the past against some super strong players. I've seen you do well against Daigo and ST. So from that experience, sort of what do you take into this kind of set, having played against some of the best in the world and done well?
It's all about believing in yourself, first and foremost. You know, when I played Daigo, I believed I'm going to kick his butt. You know, I'm going to beat him. I don't care who he is. Yeah. So same thing here. I don't care who I'm playing on that couch next to me. I'm going to kick some butt.
All right. Well, I hope it goes well. Good luck. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with that set in just a bit. So it is going to be Arturo Sanchez, a.k.a. Sabin, from New York, representing the East Coast, playing Dalsum. And his opponent is going to be Tanya Killer Miller from SoCal, playing Mika.
Yeah, and you know, as you mentioned, the matchup experience is going to be huge here for Killer Miller. But it's whether, you know, she has the experience of that kind of a style, right, against Arturo, or whether her experience is just against Dalsum or anything like that. You know, she did really well, and she beat Filipino champ way back at West Coast Warzone in Season 1. So obviously she can beat a top-level Dalsum player, and we'll see if she can do that today against Arturo.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen her do, like I said, well in the past against Daigo. She's had sets against him in Super Turbo. Indefinitely a worse match than anything that's in Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
So I know that she has that. And the three people that she mentioned as playing it against a lot, Denka Diaz and El Trouble and Jesse, those are three of the best sim players in the country. So I don't think that it's possible for her to have better sim experience than she does.
Right. It's one of those things where she has practice against the character at a super high level. It's just whether Arturo brings anything new as a player, maybe, right, to the scenario, or whether his style is just a little bit different.
He definitely does have a different style, for sure. He has a more sort of grounded style. But, you know, El Trouble is an ST sim player, and he kind of plays ST grounded sim.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that she is prepared as well as she's going to be.
Yeah,
I think it's very cool.
Yeah, and it is, you know, going to be about preparedness. As you mentioned, it's like a super long set, right? So it's one of those things where you have to stay focused the whole time, try to keep your mental game ready. And so it's going to be about whether, you know, either player has those moments where they crack, especially if there's a big comeback or something like that. Or it's easy to become frustrated against a character like Dalsum in a longer set, you know, where you just get hit by limb after limb. Just like you can get hit after tweet after tweet on the social media feed over at ESL SF, where you can check out all the info that's going to be going down about Street Fighter here on King of the Hill or any other events that ESL is doing. You want to give them a follow along with Controller Chaos. They're doing an awesome little giveaway there with the fantastic fight sticks that you'll see in the little promo videos with the cool music that gets your head moving while you're watching this. You can follow along to get a chance to win one of the arcade sticks. Follow both of those social channels while you get a chance. And if you can't see it, maybe there's a dead pixel on your monitor, well, you're going to want to head over to Zowie and get one of these BenQ monitors available from Addis, who is, of course, supplying them for the King of the Hill event. So if you're having issues, figuring out what you need to do, grab one of those monitors. Tune in to the social feeds over on ESL SF. Play on your Controller Chaos arcade stick. And on your second monitor, open up Ultra Chen TV at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to see the Ultra Chen show, which happens every Tuesday, where we talk about all things fighting games and just random stuff. And David makes a lot of, kind of weird fart noises, and it's a great time. So tune in to the Ultra Chen show every
Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype.
The hype?
The hype.
It's all true. Every
little
word that
bit
I
of it
said,
is
there
true.
is zero slander involved.
There might be some truth. That's right. In any case, check out both the awesomeness and also whatever may happen over on this side at Ultra Chen TV tonight.
Yep. And now it's time to hop into our set.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
We've been chit-chatting. We've been talking all about everything that can happen. Now it's time to see the gameplay. That's what really matters, right? So our first set, Alex Myers versus K-Brad. Now Arturo versus Killer Miller. Oh, dang. They got that sick fist bump. You guys didn't get to see all of it there, but it was crazy. There was a slight shockwave afterwards. This whole studio shook. It was good.
We talked about experience for Tanya, but there's a ton of experience on Art's side as well. He's been playing at a high level in fighting games since the turn of the millennium, and he's been doing that in a bunch of different games. And whenever he's had the ability to do it, it's been with Dalsum.
Right.
So he's used Dalsum in Super Turbo, in the Alpha series, in Street Fighter 4, again here in Street Fighter 5. And this is a different Dalsum, but he's always been able to adapt and play whatever style is necessary for Sim. I would say in general, though, what I'm most impressed by, having played against him in the past, having watched him many times in the past, is his spacing. He tends to understand people's spacings better than they do for their own characters, and that is a huge part of this. But another part, against Mika especially, is understanding of the pacing, and knowing sort of when it is that the opponent wants to jump in, when they want to rush in. He's so good at that.
Yeah, another thing to keep in mind about, this season, right? Also, obviously, Dalsum, a little better, for sure. And, the zoning normals are better. And I think that definitely helps Arturo's style. But this is the kind of scenario where Mika can really cause a ruckus for him, right? Side switch, punish.
Oh, airborne all of a sudden.
Yeah, almost got the punish. But
so far, I love a lot of the decisions that are coming out of Killer Miller. Yeah. Okay, there it is. Mix-up time. Sim has some good mix-ups, there's no doubt.
Oh! Punish.
I think that might have been an attempted V reversal, but it wasn't quite meaty.
I think you're right. Almost got that flying peach anti-air, but look at the spacing and the counter pokes on the normals. You see that crouching medium kick attempt?
Ooh!
Great punish on the splash, and the medium kick works out. But you see, the game plan for Killer Miller, very different from a lot of Mika versus Dalsum, right? There's a lot of counter poking on the limbs, kind of weird staggered normals all over the place, and it's not this rush style that a lot of players play.
You can really see the influence from Super Turbo and from Honda, I think. She gets to play that matchup all the time. Perfect jump in timing, tons of damage into the corner just like that. And backing off. Yeah, willing to back off. Confident enough in her ability to get in that she backs off.
Gonna land on the Gale and the EX right through.
That's EX
huge.
butt.
Command throw now.
And you have to guess. Yeah, Miko is a little bit worse mid-screen, mid-stage, but when it comes to the corner, she is still super strong.
Counter hit combo from her. Light, medium,
heavy.
heavy.
Punishable. Yes, a little bit of damage there. Blocking. Oh, and the new setup for Anvil.
Oh, out of range for the throw. Still so close to stun is Art, and the throw setup.
Needs more.
Oh, the V reversal in the air. And the meaty afterwards. Yeah, just didn't believe that she was going to be able to get there in time. Good work from Killer Miller to hold on to that round. Lots of resources for both players now, which means EX Peach from Killer Miller. It means Arturo can hit confirm into this big critical art.
He can spend EX on controlling the ground if he wants to with EX Fire.
Yeah, you see her she's playing patient, looking to counter poke the limbs, and there's that big anti-air Gale.
Into setup, lots of advantage right there.
Oh, chase down.
Very nice. The teleport takes so long.
Deshko's still coming. Oh, what an escape. That was sick from Art. Still has the Gale.
Right through. So I really think that you're seeing some matchup experience here. Now, bad news for Art. Just like that. What can he do?
Oh, it almost went over.
I love the idea of the drop kick, but it just wasn't the right time.
She's got V-trigger as well, but spends it on the reversal.
One hit will do it for Art. He knows it. There it is.
Yeah, perfect spacing. You see that EX Fireball set up on the ground to restrict the movement. Then there's the float plus medium punch. Check and mate for Arturo in the first game.
You know, people still often do jump in situations like that. There's no chip kill out of EX Fire, and yet you just don't want to deal with
the mix-up after.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to sit.
Yeah, I mean, if he teleports in behind it, you know, you got to guess on the left,
it's a potential mix-up.
The stuff there, but yeah, exactly. People just, you don't want to block it because it just doesn't feel right.
It feels bad.
Yeah.
A big part of playing Sim correctly is understanding what makes people feel bad and going to that over and over again. Pressing those buttons. Literally and figuratively.
Oh man, the spacing from Art on that to get away from the jab. And there it is, lands with standing jab EX Flame.
Potential setup, no, not much. Oh, not blocking low, yeah.
This is one of those issues you got to be worried about in a longer set, especially against Dhalsim. It's so easy for this kind of stuff to happen, to get a little frustrated and just eat a lot of the damage on the approach.
Oh, this is a big chance.
Oh, that could have been something.
If that had been EX butt, it would have been something. But maybe her intention was crouching fierce into V-trigger, into some other stuff. You know, I'm not sure what she was going for there. In any case, round goes to Art.
But yeah, this is going to be important to see if you know, Killer Miller can stay patient and stick to the game plan despite taking a lot of damage on the way in, right? It's very easy to become frustrated in a matchup like this.
Ooh, not safe, but Art gets away with it. EX butt interrupted.
Is that anti-air Gale? Oh man, yeah, Art really just taking advantage on the offense. V-reversal doesn't work out.
Well, I love how Art's playing this. It's very buttonsy up close, sorry, at mid-range, but then he plays a lot of offense, and that's something that Street Fighter V Sim can do. It was
jump
buffed.
again.
In this season, it's even better than it was before.
That was the same scenario we just saw in that first game to close things out. It was that EX Fireball, the jump at the end, and Arturo, he had the snipe, he had the coverage. That's the important thing to do, cover all the angles.
In the first couple of rounds of the first game, Tanya was really patient. Very close first round. She won the second round. And since then, I feel some impatience on her side, and I can really tell the difference in terms of how that's played out.
Yeah, for sure.
That really plays into Art's hands.
And that's one thing that she talked about before the match was, you know, that kind of mental endurance to play a super long set, right?
Right.
And part of that is to not stray from the game plan, but also to understand when you need to switch it. But, you know, so far I feel like the game plan has been good. Completes it.
Ooh, little far.
Combo.
Still in there.
And that's a big stun. She's going to get mixed up after this.
That's right. Question is, what is the mix? Little late. Still doing well, though. This is exactly what she needs, and not just like that Art. Yes. Little slower on the V-reversals there this season.
Set up here.
That's punishable! And very nicely done.
Yeah, just missed input there from Arturo. A little slip up, but he was in a good position to bring that round back.
Couple of good moments. Oh, that's a good sign. I mean, not just that it's annoying for Dhalsim to deal with, but that she's willing to play that patient game at a range. Again, she was at the perfect spot to make that happen. She's playing so much better right now. No, well, the drop.
No V. Yeah, couldn't be reversal as it hadn't built up. Now it's there. Big EX to chase down. Look at all that gray, though, from Tanya.
She is chasing, though. Is it even going to matter that she has all that gray? I don't know. She might have pressed something. She did.
Yeah, so big chunk of damage for Art.
Blocking, very nice.
Reversal, yeah, it's guaranteed there.
And she waited for the right moment.
And one of these counter poke limbs could be big trouble for Art. Yeah, you see her trying.
Yeah, Art whiffing buttons right now is danger time.
In there, not enough though.
Trying to chase. And Tanya backing up.
Oh, in there.
Ooh, the luck. Anything will do it on both sides. Will be high or low. It's low. It's low. I mean, look, in that situation against Sim, you know it's going to be jump medium kick or it's going to be slide. It's one of the two.
Right. You just got to guess.
You just got to guess.
Or the low.
Yep.
Oh, block. Punish afterwards. Yeah, there's been a lot of EX Peach to check after these blocked flames, so she's making sure. Sure, he's sitting still. Now a big lead. I think a lot of it to do with impatience, but also that offense from Arturo you mentioned.
Yes. Big part of it. She's still trying to whiff punish. A little bit off on a lot of these. Oh, that might be it. Yes.
Yeah. You see the coverage from Arturo. He had the float into the jab. Immediately lands with the big crush counter roundhouse. Has all the buttons ready to cover all the angles at once.
Couple of rounds so far. I really like what Tanya's done, but other than that, she, you know, there are those moments of impatience that end up getting her hurt. So that's something that she has to consider. I like how she's dealt with some of Sim's offense. You know, you can tell that she's played against it many times. But that said, I mean, he has real mix-ups against a character like Mika. She doesn't have EXDP. She doesn't have anything like that.
Right.
So as Sim, you can really do those things.
Yeah.
You know, and in this season when Universal is slower, you are less worried about pressing buttons against Mika than you were previously.
Oh, for sure.
Previously, you press a button against her and it is knockdown. Yeah. Right. And that's not something that you're as concerned about
She
now. So
dashes
you can go
up
in
and gets the mix-up afterwards. Tough times. None of that's there anymore, right? It's much slower, not as much advantage. So, yeah, it's a little less scary for sure. And not only that, but, you know, Dalsum, he's so strong at building up gray damage.
Yes.
And this season with the gray damage recovering slower, it's so important, right? It's such a big deal for him to be able to do that. And a character like Mika has, you know, less offense than she used to in a lot of scenarios.
It's true. Yep. Yeah. Still, I think, a pretty good character.
Oh, yeah. Can definitely still be one of those one-chance scenarios. Oh, man, the coverage from Arturo.
Yeah, very
all the
strong.
angles.
Oh, expecting the air, and Art did not go to the air.
Good block, but a lot of gray built up.
Oh, no.
Punish.
It's worked a lot, but Art's, you know, he's seen that
Yeah.
at this point. So round goes over to Arturo. Has been one of the best awesome players in North America for 15, longer than that, 15 years, 17 years.
Oh, got all 3 hits. It was really high on the body, but still works out anyway. And this control in the corner is super important for her, but couldn't contain, which is really tough to do.
I really wish he would stay put for those.
Yeah, the EX Flame has almost always forced an action.
Right.
Which has led to so much damage from, you know, just stray limbs.
Right. Ooh, jump short. Oh, yeah, okay, that was in range. Nice, she gets to dash up into something. Very, very light.
Oh, no slide. It could have been sliding.
Oh, no, she just didn't see that there was the whip. That could have been a big jump in.
Gale, one more could do it. Frame traps, and the V reversal attempt doesn't work. Still, pixel life now.
A chance to get up close. Oh, no, no punish.
Gotta watch snipe. Oh, no,
I
it
like
was
the
out
idea,
of
but-
range. Yeah, a little too far. And Art with another 2 rounds. He's up 4-0 so far.
Yeah, I feel like that EX fire that you mentioned is a big part of just controlling things, and that's forced her into taking actions. A lot of Sims things seem like they force you into actions.
Right.
They don't necessarily, right? You're taking the threat sometimes too literally if you're always running into things. Very nice.
A little punish.
Oh, that was good.
Surprised. I thought he was going to have that slide in time.
Taking the stand grab a lot.
Challenge, and that's a lot of damage. There was that added up gray from the flame, and she just really just bulldogged her way through the flame, which has led to a lot of gray damage and quite a bit of life from Sim. One of the first times that she's actually blocked that EX, and look at the pressure he's getting off of it.
Yeah, I really like it. Yeah, dude, this is so good from Art. Yes, still in there.
Oh, chase down. Not all the hits, though.
Very unfortunate. Backing up, didn't believe that she could approach from that spot.
Okay, counterpoke the limb, but yeah, it needs a lot more. And will this force the action again? It does.
Ah, but she had the right call this time. Oh, no! Well, it would have been hard to get in there. Round goes to Art.
Yeah, and he did a good job of closing it out. It's been these clutch scenarios where, like, you know, almost every round, Art has been good about the button placement and the zoning. And it's tough to do in that last, you know, scramble scenario. Yeah, look at all the different, you know, approach options she's tried that he's figured out how to stop.
A lot of it is him being mobile. You know, he's not really being sort of patient or stationary. Always doing something. Set up. No.
Oh, miss, yeah. It's looking for a button.
Moving forward, Tanya. Oh, yeah, right through it. Very
Chase
nice.
Jump out. Oh, that could have been punished, but a little far. On
That could have been a lot.
Yeah, clap in the corner is still very dangerous. Big advantage. And the teleport back, what a bait from Arturo. That crouching fierce buffered right into the teleport away just to get that space, right? He didn't even want to commit to offense. He just wanted that button block so he can get away. And it worked out great.
Looking really, really strong. Love Sabin's positioning, love his movement. The mix-ups are great. And we'll see from Tanya, you know, what the change is.
Round 1.
it's no longer just, I think, that there's impatience. You know, it's I don't even know if that's the problem right now. It's more that Art is doing such a good job of preemptively understanding where it is that she wants to approach, or even when she wants to stay still, how to take advantage of somebody who wants to stay still against Dhalsim. He's been there with all of those.
Yeah, pretty much every option has not, it's not been just, you know, countered, oh yeah, I reacted to this and stopped it. It's been one of those things where he's like, all right, well, she wants to be here, so I'm going to preemptively have this button ready.
Exactly. There it is. The dash goes there. V-trigger ready. See if he spends it. He tries.
Couple of jumps, man. What an escape from Art. He just needs one mix-up to do it. Overhead low end. The overhead it is. And that's just where you got to guess, right? One of those scenarios earlier, it'd have been the low instead.
All right. And very good to see that he started off the high-low mix-ups with the low. That's typically not what you see out of a Dhalsim, but he had sort of thought ahead enough to do that.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that works really well on an opponent who does have good knowledge of the matchup, because they'll expect that overhead.
Again, Art just doing such a good job of knowing what to do if the opponent wants to play patiently. Saw that Tanya there was just looking to counterpoke some limb, and so instead of throwing out limbs, Art moves forward with V-skill float, still controlling some space with the jab in the air. And that's what you do against somebody who is trying to wait things out.
Okay, but look at all that gray up there. Yeah, dashed right into it. And that was the problem, right? That gray damage built up, and we've seen it before. She kind of tries to bulldog through it. The option is when you see that flame out there, just pretend like it's not there, and just kind of force the issue. But that led to tons of gray damage up there.
Well, she mentioned, you know, understanding, keeping yourself in the game mentally. And I really think that she's trying to do that. I like that she slows down in between matches like that just to sort of think about it.
Right.
That said, Art has been ready enough each time that, you know, even if she comes up with new ideas, he's been ready for those. Whoa, okay. Maybe speaking too soon.
It's a big stun. This is one of the few times she's had a round like this so far.
Oh, the reset! What a comeback round. Jeez. Question is, can she build on it? But I love the way that round went.
Yeah, I can't go much better for Mika in this matchup. That's basically exactly how it'll go. Exactly what you're looking for. It's whether she can continue to build off that and make more rounds like that happen.
Right. That is the question. Chance for Art to go in. Keeps it up.
No pressure.
Yeah, that's one of the changes for Sim in Season 2.
The jump. Oh, man, I can't believe how low that was.
Yes.
Right at the end.
Oh, very good idea. Looking for the airborne stuff. That one moment, Art was not in the air. He had spent so much time in the air, and then exactly when she thought it was time, he knew it was not.
Yeah, and he's gone to so many, you know, instances of that float into jab. Whoa, the low profile. Float into jab. That's basically what he's gone to, right? Back teleport jab, float into jab. It's that intercepting button. Very low risk, very low damage, but stuffs a large portion of the screen. See it again there, the float into jab. It's a great button to hit out to, you know, just kind of intercept. And it's frustrating to get hit by.
The knockdown. Okay, very nice. Knockdown again. Oh!
EX, no Peach.
No confirm, right.
No command throw on the V reversal either. It's a little slower.
Oh, that might be punishable. Well, okay. I think it's -4.
Oh, other side, and no punish, but, you know, Art keeps himself safe.
Oh, that might be punishable too. No, instead she just takes charge, drop kick, Art getting away.
Yeah, you see that EX flame constantly has forced movement, right? Every time it's out there, it's been an issue.
Art putting up the wall again. And again, seeing that Tanya wants to back off, rather than throwing out a lot of limbs that could be counter poked, he goes into the air, he throws a fire from very far away. You know, very safe tools. Oh, maybe in time. No, not quite there. No punish.
No punish every time. There's been that
teleport.
forward medium punch.
I'm telling you, that teleport takes forever to recover. But can she make this happen? She needs maybe one more mix-up here, depending on what it is.
Oh, the back throw will do it. If that was the guess. That was the guess between command throw to kill or grounded normal to kill. And he was right. Just stayed patient and blocked. That's a big gamble to say that you know your opponent won't command throw. That's a scary thing to do, but it feels like he's been right consistently enough.
Round 1. Fight.
Back to this airborne game, back to this play. Rather than sticking out a lot of counter-pokeable buttons, just moving forward, you know, taking the opportunity to get some space for himself. Threaten from above.
Man, the drill pressure now, yeah, are much more aggressive.
Ooh! Very nice. Yeah, doing a lot of airborne work.
Oh, no combo off that crouching short, crouching jab, and Artura out of there. Doesn't even want the offense, would rather have a huge amount of screen space to work with, and you can see it's working out here. Doesn't go in too hard, just wants the space.
Nadeshko coming in, it's the long one. Very nice. Side switch, nothing else.
Command throw it. All right, she has offense now. Oh, the jump. He just jumped out.
Hold on, though. Tanya, couple more mix-ups away here. There's one.
Oh, the back throw.
Dash.
Yeah, there's been slide into dash up command throw a few times. So I think Arturo has, you know, he saw that coming. He said, all right, this is likely what there's going to be. Man, that float jab, so effective. And it forces stuff like that where you feel like you got to jump over it.
Well, again, it's one of those implied threats. I mean, it's not, it doesn't do anything. It's not hurting her. It's just, it feels like, oh man, I shouldn't be letting Sim press these buttons. I shouldn't be giving him this kind of control. And so you want to do things about it.
Yeah, and it does a little bit of damage, but more importantly, it's frustrating to get hit by. And when you become frustrated, you know, you start forcing more of these errors.
Right. Great blocks. Art's movement impeccable right now.
Oh, the spacing on the drill and the gale.
The slide. Will it be command grab again? No, it was normal.
Throw. Yeah, no B gauge is available now. No health left. Does it force the jump? It does.
Well, you know, there's started to be an interesting mix-up there, whether Sim teleports or not, and Tanya has guessed right a couple of times.
Oh, she lived on the train.
Hold on, though. Still alive. Still alive.
Oh, what a block.
Still alive. Art's defense right now, excellent. High or low.
Oh, the challenge with the light kick. Yeah, you hit the button.
He did.
It was such a scary spot. Had she confirmed that counter hit, she would have got it. But instead, Arturo got the right button in the right time, and it feels like that's how this whole set has been.
Yeah.
A lot of Arturo finding the right button at the right time.
I think you're right. So now Killer Miller, again, trying to think about it a little bit. Last time she did this, she came out with a full head of steam, but it was just put out almost immediately after that by Art again.
A little interrupt there. Your use of medium kick, crouching and standing has been really effective so far. It's a button that I think is underused a lot of times from Mika, right? It's, you know, usually people look for the clap or the medium punch. Man, this zoning from Art has been so effective.
Oh no, the drop!
Miss.
Wrong side. And then a little early, actually, on the wingless airplane. You see how Art very consistently will take the standing grab? He's willing to get hit low, rather than give her the better setup of the low
Oh man, check out that
grab.
gray damage up there.
Yeah, that's a lot. That is definitely a lot. And Art just playing the patient way. Oh no!
Oh, and just tagged her so much off that net. Is that, yeah, a little confirm off the fireball plus slide.
That's the kind of thing that is so annoying to get hit by if you have played against Dalsum a lot. Because you know about it. It's not like, oh, I've never seen that before. It's like, okay, a fire, I'm going to dash in. And you get hit by the slide and you're like, no! How did I let myself do that?
That's such the like, oh, it worked on everybody the first week, you know, it was like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it still works.
Yeah.
It's still really good. Oh, that advantage drill, V reversal.
Maybe looking for the back teleport. Didn't come.
And this defense from Art has been impeccable. It's been so difficult for her to find a pattern and force, you know, her offense. Finally, in there, EX. Now is off that miss anti-air.
Into what? Sides. Oh, wow. Well, she got a punish. Maintains some pressure. Looking for Art to press something, but his defense has just been so good. He's blocked at the right time. Yeah, that was a kind of funky situation.
Not much you can do there.
Actually, don't really know what you could have done. Yeah.
I mean, Chip will do it there.
Right.
So if you block it, plus you got to guess high-low.
Right.
Off the mix-up, so.
Right. She was in the flames. She was still burning. You know, so the chip damage is extra crazy.
She was dead.
She was probably dead.
Yeah, there's not much you could do there.
Well, looking tough. Got to make the 10-game straight comeback. It's currently 9-0.
And it's been one of those sets where, you know, mental fortitude, it seems to be there, but it's just like Art, man.
Yeah, you know, in the first few games, I felt like she was getting impatient. Yeah. I don't even think that that's been the problem over the last several. I don't feel like she's impatient. I feel like it's Art understanding how to control somebody who knows to be patient, you know, who's somebody who sort of knows the Dhalsim matchup, and yet Art is so ready for all of the potential counters.
You know, I also feel like she hasn't done that much command throw off forward fierce. I don't think there's been forward fierce in the EX punch command throw almost at all. Art has been comfortable blocking it out.
I think that's true, yeah. Into what? Oh, this is a chance now, yes! Might have been the round in Season 1, not so in Season 2.
Oh, one more for kill. Oh, man,
oh boy. Is Art
going
to make this comeback? Look at the patience. He just wants her to flame.
Oh, even had time to block.
The tech was there.
So much great damage.
Yeah, she wants that to come back so badly. There's the nice block low.
But every time a normal lands, look at how much damage there is.
Yes. Oh, okay.
The counter poke. Staying alive.
Round 2. Fight.
There it is. Trying to move forward again.
Other side, and now it's going to be back to the corner. Does get the wall bounce, as a wall exists there. It's not some middle of the screen.
It's not mystical. Well, it kind of is mystical looking, actually, if you look at where it is over there. But you know what? We'll take it.
Yep. Punch command throw to get that side switch.
Unfortunately, not that much in the way of setups afterward. Nice teleport. I love that, even though it didn't, you know, end up mattering. She got hit. But I love that readiness from Sabin.
She already has another bar of V-trigger.
Oh! Okay, EX is through. Trying to follow up. Might have tried V-reversal, but too late.
Oh, the V-reversal's in there. What's the
for the round, potentially either way. There's the Fierce! Oh, look at that.
Fierce, and that'll put her on the board.
Okay, so there's a game.
Mika wins.
Is there anything that you would point out as having been better on her side in that game?
I think there was a little bit more command throw in situations where Art was comfortably blocking before. And maybe just a miss from Art in a couple of situations, right? I feel like maybe the kind of impeccable control he had before, he had given up in kind of like this idea of like comfortability, right? Yeah, there's another command throw.
Yeah, that does seem like an important part of it. Okay, she wasn't using button that way, and she has over the last couple of rounds. It's been effective.
Yeah, more command throw seems to be working for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, Art starting to get a hang of it.
Trade's okay for Miller, but she dashes in and eats that slide.
As a result, in the corner. Oh, where Art really didn't get anything other than some gray life. Oh, eats it.
Oh, could be big. Oh, punish. Yeah.
There's the round.
Was almost in range for the wall, maybe, but didn't even want to take the risk, right?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Do what you can, you know, just take the round. It's only 1 bar meter, it's not a whole super or anything. Okay, a little different timing. Here's Anvil.
Oh, missed the Gale.
Trying to pressure on the ground now, very buttonsy. If he knows that he's going to be in range, if he's not whiff punishable, you can see Art get very buttonsy all of a sudden.
It's in the air, and you'll totally take that if you're Arturo. It's not too bad of a, you know, V-trigger usage.
And again, making sure that he stands up when a throw comes.
Yeah, always stand. You want to eat that stand throw instead of the ground throw.
Right. 2 different options for Mika. Both normal throw, but if the opponent's crouching, she gets a much better setup afterward.
Yeah, it's a totally different animation.
Yep.
She just picks you up and dunks you, and she can dash forward after and get stuff. If you know you stand up, she just she gets a little
nothing too
damage.
special.
Yeah, a little
right.
damage, but nothing off of it.
This is match point now for Art. I like some of the changes that Tanya made, but so quickly did Art adapt to them. You know, controlling butt mid-screen. Very, very quickly, he had the backdash against meaty command grabs, all of a sudden, very quickly. So you see him making some very, very fast adaptations.
Oh, look, the frame trap. It's big. This could be a big chance for her. She does have V-trigger on deck.
Ooh, it was only the one. Again, willing to do it, yes. So, I mean, we've seen him take a lot of slides. He's been hit by slide a bunch of times, and that's because he's looking to just stand. Now, you see the downside to that, but there it is again. Into what? Away. Oh, the crouching fierce. Anything?
Yeah, gotta set up that EX. You get a couple of options here. Punish.
Really? Is that enough?
Through?
Not quite. Oh, it's so dangerous. No,
Oh,
EX.
the reaction.
EX does it.
And you saw that was one of the few times in the entire set that float jab has been beat by something.
Right.
That's been such an important thing to kind of stuff everything. It's been the answer to almost everything. Except that.
Except that. Also except that mid-range butt. We saw her do a couple of times.
Right. Oh, almost in time.
Maybe a little bit too ahead of herself there. There's the butt. You know, I really like watching them both change things up on the fly like this. Very impressive to see. Oh, no quick rise. There it is, and you get away.
Good
Ready.
anti-air.
You know, it's not easy as Dawson. Wow, nice. To be up in the air and then all of a sudden know when your opponent's going to jump and be ready for the anti-air. But that's exactly what Art did just a bit ago. Tanya backing up into the flames, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, anti-aired again. We'll juggle off a bit. You know, and the new advantage on a lot of these limbs mean that, yeah, stuff like using that crouching fierce to get through normals or, you know, jumping out there's not quite as easy as it was before.
Yeah, if you get hit by sim normals now, you kind of have to respect his options afterward.
Unless you got an Nadeshko coming.
Well, yeah. Oh, the slide.
block.
There's that one low block. He so often had been taking the slides or the lows so that he would get, you know, the standing grab we were talking about. This time, he makes that adaptation again very quickly.
Oh, big crush. Gonna get the juggle this time. Doesn't have EX to extend it, but look at all that advantage.
Okay. Not quite there, but at least enough to move forward.
Yeah, got her in. And we'll probably get a second V-trigger.
Into what? Again. Will Art take these? What's his option? Oh, he tried to press the button. Is that stun? No.
Drop the combo, and now this is
That
big.
could be bad news. Could be killer for Miller.
Art almost. Oh, it jumps out.
Looking to try to hit something was Art there. Now that he's back to full screen, he can start setting things up again.
Oh, man, that trade, great for Miller. She'll take those all day.
Yes. Yeah, you see her just trying to outrange those buttons. Now Art saw that. He said, okay, fine, I'm not going to whip anything.
Yeah, walks all the way in. Oh, the drill spacing, not quite at the toes where it needed to be.
I really like how Tanya played the end of that round there. She played it away. She played it patiently. She made Art come in at an unsafe spot.
Yeah, didn't go too ahead of herself. Oh, this is going to be the punish. That little whiff, normal in a throw setup. Arturo really likes to do that.
Yeah.
Slide doesn't get under now. Reversal, dash up, command throw works. Tons of great damages up there.
There have been so many more command grabs in the second half of the set. Last quarter of this set, really.
Oh, out of range to punish, and Arturo immediate teleport.
Very nice. Art, again, keep in mind, he's been at match point for like all of these last few rounds. And is again.
Throw.
Very close.
One frame trap.
Oh! High or low for the rim. Well,
Yeah.
neither. Instead, it's Gale that's going to do it. It ends up being 10-2. Sabin over Killer Miller.
Yeah, and you know what looked to be a pretty oppressive matchup at the start right there was this intense moment where Miller was getting all this offense, and it really looked like it could go, her way. Arturo figured it out, and his spacing was super amazing. The flow into jab, man, that was such an effective, frustrating tool to deal with, and I think Miller stayed in there mentally for a lot of the set. But Arturo's game plan was sound, and despite experience for Miller, you can tell that Arturo very familiar with how to fight Miko. One of the things that we saw was just standing a lot of the time to take that standing throw, which gives you much less offense than that ground throw. So yeah, I mean, a lot of those times, right? You're willing to sit there, take the lows, eat the slides or whatever, because that damage compared to eating a grounded throw into like dash up command throw and stuff like that is way worse for you. So yeah, it seems like Arturo definitely experienced in the matchup and was ready for that. let's see. This is what we had earlier today, in which K-Brad defeated Alex Myers. And now Arturo beat Killer Miller. Will be playing up against K-Brad up next to see who will stay the king of the hill. It's going to be an interesting matchup. K-Brad representing the West Coast versus Arturo Sanchez representing the East Coast. So we're going to go over to an interview with David to hear what Arturo had to say about the set.
All right. Well, good job to you, first of all. Nicely done. Watching that kind of a set for me is tough because I'm rooting for Tanya being the Honda player and the SoCal player, and I'm rooting for the Dawson player as well. But I thought that you approached it really well. When it started off, the first few rounds were kind of close. After that, of course, there was a huge separation. What is it that changed very quickly?
So pretty much like the first couple of games, they were pretty much intelligence gathering, what she knows and what she doesn't know in the matchup spacing wise. So you notice in the beginning of the set, I was getting away with a lot of like V-skill jabs. And Mika can counter that with the EX wingless airplane, but she didn't figure that out until later on in the set. So I was like, oh, word, I can just autopilot this until she figures out how to stop it, which she did later on in the set.
Yeah, okay. I thought too that it seemed good for you how you dealt with her trying to play away. Like you could see her experience in the sense that she wanted to try to counterpoke your limbs, but I thought that you had really good control in that kind of situation.
Well, I have been playing like a lot of online Mikas recently, like notably Joey 900. If you're watching, shout outs to you. Your Mika got me so salty the other week, but like he's so good. But basically, yeah, you have to. Obviously, if Mika stays away, Dalsum's good like at the range game, so you pretty much have to walk within the range where she cannot counterpoke anymore. Try to stay like at max distance, and then when she gets frustrated, it's easy to check her with like strongs and medium kicks. One of the things that she didn't do in the matchup actually, which is pretty good, when she gets into range 0, which is where I don't want to be, and she jumps, she didn't really challenge me with splash too often, and if she did, she always did it at range 1, which I can react to. If you do it at range 0, like the back strong and the jab lose. So like, she didn't really do that in the set, so I noticed that. So like it made it a lot easier for me.
Okay. Well, good work in that set. I thought that you played it really well. I could see a lot of your experience just over the many years playing Dalsum. What sort of how do you feel about Street Fighter V Season 2 Dalsum in his matchups now? Do you feel like he has been improved enough? Do you feel like he's viable?
Yes and no. Like he's good against the characters that are not important in the metagame right now. Basically, so like he still needs some more help. Laura, Boxer, and Rashid are really, really nightmare matchups. Alex is pretty bad as well, and the Cali is pretty bad. So his bad matchups, for the most part, didn't change. So I still think he's towards like the bottom end of the tier list, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, up next you're going to play against K-Brad Cammy. What are you thinking going into that match?
Don't block strongs. Pretty much. How many strongs am I going to block? If I can keep it neutral, it'll be okay, but that strong vortex, man, it's kind of tough.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely hear you. Well, good work and good luck. Thanks a lot, man. We're going to throw it back.
Hey, what's up? We got a chance to hear from Arturo, who won the set, but now to talk to Tanya, Miss Killer Miller, who happened to take a little loss in that set. How are you feeling about how everything went in that set?
Not a killer today.
Not a killer?
No, he played it really smart. I was very lucky to play 3 different types of Dalsums, but none of them really did the float jab. And like he said, it took a lot longer for me to figure that out, especially after you block. But fun fact is, if he hits you and you try to use reactions to then EX afterwards, you can't. You almost have to predict, which is a little bit more Street Fighter V of prediction versus...
Instead of trying to react and
yeah.
counterpoke. Right. So that was, the kind of thing that we expected going into it was that you would have a ton of experience and be super prepared for Dalsum. But yeah, it seems like, what's interesting is even though you played so many types of Dalsums, that this was like a new one. This was like the fourth style that was, were unprepared for. So that's what's cool about events like this, though, is that you get a chance to play against someone who has a style that's a little different, even if it's a matchup you play all the time.
Yeah, so that's what's really cool about the East Coast versus West Coast is we all have different styles, whereas West Coast is a little RTSD, and I should have been a little bit more at times,
Yeah.
So, whereas East Coast is a little bit defensive and squirrely, or at least in this matchup.
Right.
So that's why I really like this series, because it comes back to different styles and seeing the different ways we all play.
Right. So, he mentioned a few things that you had trouble dealing with, maybe the jump jab and maybe doing a little bit more splash. Is there anything that you took away from the set that you wish you had done a little bit more, or maybe a change in the game plan?
I had a feeling it would be this. Like remember a lot of rounds coming down to kind of that last 10%, and just not clutching it out, playing patient, and getting that 10% is kind of the hardest for me at this moment.
Oh, okay.
You know, keeping Dalsum in the blender is the difficult portion. He would always use something to get out, which was really smart on his end. So. Basically, what I take away from this is even though it's a loss, I'm going to go back in the lab. I'm going to keep training. And thank you guys for everyone who basically brought me here. And thank you everyone who still supports me.
Very nice. So, you know, we got to see your set versus Art. Do you have any predictions maybe on how he's going to do up against K-Brad? Any thoughts on how that'll go? I'm
interested to see if he plays the offensive or defensive Dalsum. You know, I'm guessing he'll play defensive, but Cammy gets in so easily.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm interested to watch, though.
Me too. And that's what we're going to see in just a second after this break. We'll see you guys in a bit.